Jeremy D. Day. The name felt like a borrowed coat, too big, too unfamiliar. He remembered flashes, a burning house, screaming, then, nothing, just the cold, hard streets of Neo-Kyoto. He was a ghost in his own life, a puzzle with most pieces missing. Who was he? The D in his name felt important. A secret, a clue he could not grasp. He searched for answers, but found only more questions. The past was a locked door, and he didn't have the key. Now, he moved through the city's underbelly, a whisper in the neon-drenched alleys. They called him many things, the Nightshade, the Silent Blade. No one knew his face, no one knew his real name, or what was left of it. He fought the crime that festered in the city's circuits. He protected the innocent, the ones the towering corporations forgot, the ones the chrome-plated police couldn't reach. This was his purpose now, forged in darkness, sharpened by an unknown pain. He was their unseen guardian. Neo-Kyoto gleamed under a perpetual twilight. His transformation was not easy. It was born of desperation, of a need to survive. After the fire, after the memory loss, he was alone. A child lost in a city of cold steel and colder hearts. He scavenged, he ran, he hid. Then, he found Master Takeda, an old man, his face a roadmap of wrinkles. His eyes held ancient wisdom. Takeda ran a small, forgotten dojo, hidden behind a noodle shop in the oldest part of Neo-Kyoto, a place where tradition still breathed. Master Takeda saw something in the lost boy, a fire, a resilience. He taught Jeremy the way of the shinobi, the ancient arts of stealth, of espionage, of survival. Jeremy trained relentlessly. His body became a weapon, his mind, a fortress. He learned to move like smoke, to fight like a storm. He blended the old ways with the new. He studied robotics, cybernetics, data infiltration. The future was his battlefield. He needed tools for that future. He needed to adapt. His suit was a marvel. A new fear gripped Neo-Kyoto. It started as whispers, then it became headlines. People were vanishing, not just anyone. Innovators, scientists, artists, people with unique talents. They disappeared without a trace. No ransom notes, no demands, just an empty space where a life used to be. The Neo-Kyoto Police Department, the NKPD, were stumped. Their advanced drones found nothing. Their psychic investigators sensed only cold emptiness. The city was on edge. The glitter of Neo-Kyoto seemed dimmer. Jeremy D-Day felt it too, a growing unease. He followed the news reports, he hacked into police databases, he looked for patterns. The victims were diverse, yet there was a thread. Each possessed a skill deemed irreplaceable. Each was taken from a secure location, as if plucked by a phantom. The official channels were full of theories, corporate espionage, a rogue AI, extraterrestrial collectors. Nobody knew the truth, but Jeremy felt a cold dread. This case felt different. It felt personal. He remembered a fragment. His investigation led him to Sector 7, the forgotten underbelly of Neo-Kyoto, a place where the neon lights barely reached, where crumbling buildings leaned against each other, like tired old men. Rusting pipes hissed steam. Mutated rats scurried in the shadows. This was the city's dumping ground, for trash, for broken dreams, and sometimes for secrets. Jeremy moved silently, a shadow among shadows. His senses were heightened, every drip of water, every distant siren, every flicker of a faulty street lamp. He tracked a faint energy signature, similar to one he found near a victim's apartment. It led him to an abandoned warehouse. The sign above the door was faded. Kurakawa Industries. The name meant nothing to him. Yet, the warehouse was dark, silent, too silent. He slipped inside, through a broken window high above. Dust motes danced in the slivers of light. Crates were stacked haphazardly. Machinery lay covered in tarps. It felt like a tomb, a place where things came to die. The data chip was his only lead. Jeremy returned to his hidden sanctuary. He plugged the chip into his custom-built console. The encryption was complex, military-grade, but Jeremy was a master of the digital realm. His fingers danced across the holographic keyboard. Lines of code scrolled across his visor. He bypassed firewalls. He navigated virtual traps. It was like a deadly game of chess, played at lightning speed. He felt the presence of counter-intrusion programs. They were good, but he was better. He was focused, driven. Hours passed. The city outside hummed its sleepless song. Finally, a click. The encryption broke. Files began to download, schematics, locations, and something else. A list of names. They disappeared. But there were more names. Older names. He scrolled down. His breath caught in his throat. He saw two names he recognized, from the faded photograph. His parents, Dr. Eris Thorne, Dr. Lena Day, listed as asset acquisition terminated. The word hit him like a physical blow. Then he found his own name. Section 6, The Ronin's Revelation. As Jeremy prepared to leave, a figure materialized from the shadows of his room. Not an enemy. He would have sensed them. This was different. An old woman. Her face was kind, but her eyes were sharp. She wore simple, traditional clothes. She moved with a grace that defied her age. "You are finally ready to know, Jeremy," she said. Her voice was soft, familiar. It was Master Takeda's sister, Kiri. He hadn't seen her in years, since before he took up the mask. "Kiri-san, how did you find me?" Jeremy asked. His voice, unmodulated, was still young. Kiri smiled faintly. "My brother always knew where to find lost souls, and I knew where to find his prized student." She looked at the data on his screen. "You have uncovered much, but not the whole truth." She sat down, uninvited. "But welcome, the Collector. His name is Dr. Silas Thorne." Jeremy froze. "Thorne? Like his father's name?" "Your father's brother," Kiri confirmed. "Your uncle." The revelation struck him, harder than any physical blow. Kiri explained. Section 7. Confronting the Mastermind. Sector 7 was even more menacing now. Jeremy moved with renewed purpose. Grief and anger warred within him. But Kiri's words had also given him clarity. He was not just a victim of his past, he was a survivor. And now, a reckoning was due. He found the hidden entrance beneath the warehouse. A heavy blast door, disguised as part of the floor. The data chip he recovered had a partial access code. His hacking skills did the rest. The door hissed open, revealing a sterile white corridor, descending into the earth. The facility was vast, a network of labs, holding cells, training rooms. He saw some of the disappeared, trapped, sedated, but alive. Hope flickered within him. He bypassed automated defenses, disabled security drones. He moved like a phantom. His ninja training was pushed to its limits. He could hear Silas Thorne's voice, echoing over an intercom. Calm, arrogant. "Welcome, Jeremy. Or should I say, nephew, I've been expecting you. You have your father's persistence. And your mother's spirit." The voice was chillingly familiar, like a distorted echo from his lost childhood. He finally reached the central chamber. Section 8. The Unmasking. The combat robots were formidable, fast, strong, armed with lasers and tasers. But Jeremy was faster, more agile. He used their numbers against them, weaving through their attacks, disabling them with precise strikes. His katanas flashed, cutting through circuits and armor. He was a whirlwind of controlled fury. Silas watched, his expression shifting from arrogance to disbelief, then to anger. He hadn't expected this level of resistance. He had underestimated the boy, underestimated the legacy of Eris and Lena. With the last robot collapsing in a shower of sparks, Jeremy faced his uncle. Silas Thorne was no warrior, he was a scientist, a manipulator. He tried to reason with Jeremy, to appeal to his intellect. "Think of what we could achieve, your abilities, my vision." But Jeremy was unmoved. "Your vision is a nightmare," he said. He advanced. Silas, desperate, grabbed a prototype energy weapon. He fired. Jeremy deflected the blast with his katana. The energy feedback overloaded the weapon. It exploded in Silas's hand. He cried out in pain, disarmed, defeated. The NKPD, alerted by Kiri, stormed the facility. Section 9. A new guardian for Neo-Kyoto. The city of Neo-Kyoto breathed a collective sigh of relief. The missing were returned. The collector was behind bars. The news reports called it a victory for the NKPD. They mentioned a shadowy operative who provided key assistance. No one knew his name, or his face. And that was how Jeremy preferred it. He wasn't looking for fame or recognition. He had found something more important. He had found himself. He had found peace. A fragile peace, perhaps. But peace, nonetheless. He stood on a rooftop, overlooking the glittering expanse of Neo-Kyoto. The city was still flawed, still full of shadows. But now, there was a little more light, a little more hope. He knew his work was not done. There would be other threats, other injustices. But he was ready. He was no longer just avenging his past. He was protecting the future. He was the Nightshade, the silent blade. The guardian Neo-Kyoto didn't know it had, but the one it needed. Kiri visited him sometimes. They would share tea and silence. She never asked about his nightly activities. She didn't need to. She saw the change in him, the quiet confidence, the sense of purpose. Master Takeda would have been proud. Jeremy continued his training, honing his skills, pushing his limits. He knew Silas Thorne was just one man. The hunger for power, the corruption, those were enemies that never truly died. They just changed faces, changed forms. The enigma of Jeremy D-Day was solved, but the story of the Nightshade was just beginning. He was a hero forged in tragedy, tempered by loss, and defined by his courage. He was a symbol, that even in the darkest of futures, even in a city of neon and steel. One person could make a difference. One person could stand against the tide. He adjusted his mask. The city lights reflected in his visor. Then, he melted into the shadows. Another night, another watch. Neo-Kyoto was safe.